Dear guests, good afternoon. We apologize for this delay in the beginning. We welcome you to our online event entitled Digitalization in EPICUR Alliance Strategy, Outputs and Synergies. My name is Penny Partakelidou, and it's my pleasure to guide you through today's program. We are truly honored to have such a distinguished group of speakers with us today, representing the institutions and teams driving EPICUR's digital transformation. Due to unexpected obligations, our Vice Rector, Professor Magioros, and the Deputy Minister, Professor Nikolaos Papaioannou, will join us later. So I would like to ask Mrs. Alison Garnier-Rivers, who is the EPICUR, the head of EPICUR unit and the University of Strasbourg, and EPICUR Alliance manager, to address her welcome speech.
Thank you very much, Penny, and good afternoon and welcome to all the participants from across Europe. On behalf of the Alliance Coordination, I'm very pleased to welcome you to this dissemination event where we are presenting the EPICUR strategy for digitalization and some of our main outputs so far. Nicholas Machiavelli stated in The Prince, "There is nothing more difficult to take in hand, more perilous to conduct, or more uncertain in its success than to take the lead in the introduction of a new order of things." But this is indeed what we have tried to do with EPICUR's approach to inter-university cooperation through digitalization. I would like to take you back to almost 7 years to the day. On the 6th of December 2018, we held in Strasbourg one of the first meetings of the embryonic EPICUR Alliance. We didn't even have the name EPICUR at the time. And this was while we were planning our first pilot project. Aristotle University of Thessaloniki proposed to take the lead of the creation of the Alliance's inter-university campus, and I can only say that they were visionary, so much so that many people in the room were skeptical of whether it was possible to deliver the ambition they were promising. At that time, they said they would, and I'm quoting from some of the early documents, provide the infrastructure, both on a procedural as well as on a technical level, in order for the other partners to implement their educational activities. These activities will set the path for the strategic objectives of the Alliance in order to create an inter-university campus of the future. They were already announcing an interoperable inter-university campus ecosystem, whereby we could account for mobility units and with a harmonization of the different entry points from the partner universities to the inter-university campus using common entrance criteria. By the end of the pilot project, this EPICUR inter-university campus will be comprised of 2 main prototype platforms, a learning management system, or LMS, in order to support gamification, synchronous and asynchronous learning services, and a virtual university registrar system, or VURS for short. That was the plan: set up the EPICUR campus in a stepwise approach, slowly changing mindsets and educational practices, building our alliance along the way. But, as most of you all know, an external event occurred in 2020. That was the COVID pandemic, and this disrupted everything. The sudden prohibition for in-person physical mobility completely turned the tables. Unexpectedly, there was a thirst for online and virtual mobility, and Thessaloniki took up the challenge, accelerating the development so that EPICUR's first digital platform was ready for testing with real-life students taking classes online after only 18 months. The rest, I would like to say, is history. As an alliance, we have been using and improving the platform with our students, academics, and administrative staff, and hopefully soon also with other alliances. And therefore, as an introduction this afternoon, I'm very proud that my colleagues will present to you our alliance achievements, and I look forward to the different exchanges. Thank you very much.
We will now move on to the main part of our program. Our first presentation will focus on the EPICUR Alliance Digital Strategy, delivered by Professor Nick Vasiliadis, President of the Digital Strategy Committee in the Aristotle University of Thessaloniki. Professor Vasiliadis.
Thank you, Penny. Let me share my screen. I guess you can see my presentation.
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, so good afternoon, everybody. I am a professor at the School of Informatics at the Aristotle University of Thessaloniki, and I'm also the head of the Digital Strategy Committee of EPICUR. So the digitalization in education is about integration of digital technologies to enhance the educational experience and to transform traditional classroom and educational practices into more flexible and technology-driven environments that can support education both in person and in remote learning. So the benefits we can get from the digitalization is scalability, increased accessibility, enhanced engagement, personalization, and can lead also to data-driven decisions that are much needed in today's processes. So key elements of digitalization in education are online platforms, of course, like LMSs, video conferencing tools, etc., administrative digitalization, management of the student records, repetitive procedures for administrative tasks, blended and hybrid learning models, digital learning resources, personalized learning through technology, collaborative and interactive learning, and use of emerging technologies like virtual reality and augmented reality, and also, of course, AI. So in EPICUR, we mainly focus on the first four key elements. So now I will show you which answers, which solutions have we proposed that for these ones. So the vision of EPICUR to empower digital transformation mainly focus on developing digital tools and processes for collaboration, efficient and successful collaboration in order to transform European universities and also to become the preferred supplier for European academic networks. Our main priorities for digitalization concerning the first three ones, the online platforms, the administrative digitalization, and the blended hybrid learning models, is first to interconnect the learning management systems, then to generate an electronic secretariat to support the mobility office, interconnected also with the local campus management systems, and to create hybrid classrooms with common specification to support the same hybrid teaching scenarios across the alliance. Interoperability is a key issue to digital transformation because it enhances the ability of organizations to interact and share information through their ICT systems, and also to have compatible or to interoperable business processes. And this is the definition that the European Interoperability Framework gives to interoperability. So in this vein, we have in EPICUR have created an interoperable student mobility process that will be explained later by the speakers. Also, we have deployed this process through the EPICURs, which is the EPICUR. And we had also exploited ID identification technologies like My Academic ID and EduGain. And of course, this will also be explained and presented later in detail. About the hybrid classrooms, they should support active learning, and we use the flipped classroom model. Now, concerning the EPICUR outputs, we try to, let's say, relate our outputs and activities to the actions of the Digital Education Action Plan of Europe. And in this vein, the hybrid classrooms and the EPICUR system is related to Action 4, the connectivity and digital equipment for education and training. The hybrid classrooms guide is related to the 10th action of provision of digital skills and competencies, and the digitalization of mobility use cases through the EPICUR system. Also the participation of the Higher Education Interoperability Working Group, where the VURS can provide key solutions for some of the use cases in the draft comprehensive mapping report, and the education hub of priority 2. EPICUR is also or tries to be compliant to several international and European standards and specifications, like the European Learning Model, which is used by VURS for the EPICUR learning opportunities. The VURS APIs support interoperability with campus management system and learning management systems with the One Roster standard from One EdTech. And also VURS supports the standard My Academic ID for students' authentication. So our current and future plans for the EPICUR digital strategy is to thoroughly evaluate the existing digital tools and services within the Alliance, to share the digital tools and services via MOUs and SLAs with other European university alliances, and also to develop an exploitation governance model in cooperation with all the stakeholders and the other alliances as well, to adopt AI for enhancing the EPICUR digital tool services with more smart functionalities. In this vein, we will create an adoption plan, and we will develop an AI infrastructure in the next years. We also want to pilot some EIF use cases via the EPICUR use cases in order to demonstrate that this is viable and to exploit EPICUR in this vein. And finally, to organize workshops in the context of for EU for all. So this was my presentation. Thank you. And I guess the questions could be made in the last session.
Thank you, Mr. Vassiliadis, for your presentation. Indeed, any questions will be discussed at the last session of this event. Now we continue with the presentation of Mr. Ioannis Almatzidis, AUTH Executive Director, who will present the digital strategy in Aristotle University of Thessaloniki.
So let me start from the beginning. So my name is Ioannis Almatzidis. I'm the Executive Director of Aristotle University. I used to be the IT manager of the university. Now this position is taken by Angeliki Agorogianni. Still, I have some involvement in the digital strategy of the university. That's why I'm giving this presentation. The digital strategy that I'm going to present, it has to be focused on the audience and the event today. And of course, there are a lot of overlaps with what Professor Vassiliadis just mentioned. I just want to say a few words on some specific items. When it comes to applications and software, we have to be very careful. Of course, there are lots of solutions out there that you can buy from commercial off the shelf. But for our core business, and universities have two core businesses. The one is the educational part. The other one is research. it's a very, let's say, customized and localized solution that we have to follow. So the research information systems and the student information systems are very peculiar to and very, let's say, vertical to our market. So sometimes it is well justified to implement in-house solutions. And this is actually what happened in 2018, some years ago. Because of a vendor lock-in, we decided to build our own student information system. So our strategy indicates that we have to follow this path, and of course, we, contrary to the market, I must admit that we do mostly on-prem, and we also choose open source if there are such solutions available. In terms of organization, we prefer centralized IT. We prefer centralized services because otherwise, if you leave it up to the departments, things can evolve very widely. And we focus on building talent. We are a university, so we are abandoned by students. So it is preferable to build talent instead of buying, because buying talent out from the market is more expensive for sure. We prioritize our digitalization efforts because we are flooded with needs. The needs are unstoppable nowadays, so we have to do something about that. And the only solution is to prioritize, even if this sometimes means arguing with your rector or your council. In terms of financial strategy, we need to be extrovert because we are on tight public budgets. So you need to find out how to have as alternative revenue streams. And if you open up a little bit, of course, in the higher ed business or governmental business, I'm not talking about something that you are not aware of, but you can offer this type of services to your ecosystem. And this gives you some room for extras. For example, have some extra budget for let's say, keeping your teams alive. And of course, interoperability is a very important word, and usually it unlocks through flexibility. It really means a lot if you follow interoperability standards, and you can make up for your mistakes in the future. Now, how do you measure progress? These are the KPIs that we trust. There are lots of benchmarking around there. Bench height is one of them. It is if you say that I'm digitally mature, I only trust two figures: the IT personnel that you have as a percentage of your overall personnel, and the IT spending versus your overall budget. Here at Aristotle University, we're around 3%. We target at 5%. We are jealous of Dutch universities or let's say Scandinavian universities that are having two-digit figures there. In terms of digital stories, we materialized this strategic plan to some stories that I would like to share with you. You heard some of this jargon before. University is the solution that we developed prior to the pandemic around 2018. It is an open source solution that we offer back to the public because we used public money in order to build this solution for our own business. Naturally, now we have 1/3 of the Greek market, and it's also used is the basis for the EPICUR VURS that you will hear a lot today. Just a coincidence, 1 month ago, we won the first Digital Governance Award in Greece for higher ed. That gives us a lot of proud. But in terms of student mobility, we are heavily involved with other partners like EUF, who have a very strong partnership with EUF, offering services to DGEAC, along with other colleagues and friends like University of Warsaw, Porto, ELTE, Ghent, eWorks, etc. And we're developing, hosting, running, supporting the EWP dashboard that you probably heard of for typical conventional student mobilities. And we also have a local management solution for incoming and outgoing Erasmus students. Let us not forget our two other kids, the RESCOM RIS, that has a 90% market share for research management of research funds, and the PKI infrastructure, the HARICA, probably you heard this before, because now from January 2025, we're also the certificate provider for XEANT TCS. Now, respecting the international European standards, as we said, and Professor Vassiliadis just mentioned, it's very important for us because it gives you opportunities to connect with other infrastructures, and in the cross-border business, you have to do a lot of that. That's why I'm going to just say the keywords. We're a contributing member to One EdTech. That's why we comply with one roster, open badges. We follow the Digital Education Action Plan and the EIF and the national counterpart that we have. My academic ID is also another keyword that you will hear a lot, and EduGain network for authorization of students. Some closing remarks and key takeaways. Universities, as we said, it is a very strong piece of infrastructure that can be used to support. It has potential to support EU alliances. And VURS is based on this solution, universities, and it is a very straightforward decision for us. We're happy that we brought this tool to where it is. It's quite mature, and we are there. We are here to help others that might also want to use this solution. We did that before in other projects, and we can do this as well. So thank you very much. And with this, I conclude my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Salmatsidis. The next presentation is from Professor Thrasyvoulos Tsiatsos, Deputy Management Board Member and leader of the Work Package 3, Reinforcing Digitalization Work Package, entitled EPICUR Mobility Process and High-Level Architecture of EPICUR's 1.0.
Hi, I'm really glad to be here with many colleagues that we are cooperating with in many forums. I would try to present this, the EPICUR mobility process and the high level.
Sorry to interrupt you.
Yes.
The sound is not very good. If you could optimize.
Okay, I will try to do that. Just a minute. Is it better now?
Not really.
Now? Now it's better?
No.
Neither? I don't know.
I can hear well, Penny. Thras, I can hear well.
Okay.
Maybe you can check your input level on your microphone Zoom settings, but it's okay, I think.
Okay. Sorry.
I agree. It's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, first of all, I would like to present you briefly the student mobility process that we have, the basic one, the basic use case that we have implemented in EPICUR. This is the basis of every use case that we have developed afterwards. And our colleague Kyriakos Barbounakis and afterwards will present, parts of these steps and how we have implemented them. So for in EPICUR, we call mobility program of study a learning opportunity, an opportunity for students exchange. So first of all, our management board of EPICUR is defining a mobility program of study. Then we are opening a call to our universities, to our partner universities for courses, to contribute their courses in order to create a shared joint learning pathway. Then partner universities are offering courses for this mobility, and then the management board is selecting these courses, and they are putting them in our campus management system that we are calling this VURS, Virtual University Registrar System. And then we are creating this the course catalog. We are opening the admission period for the students. We are selecting the students, and we are creating the learning agreement. And after the course delivery, the professors are grading the students, and after that, we have the mobility credits to the students, and based on the local regulations of every partner, the ECTS are recognized in the students. So from all of these steps have been digitalized in EPICUR. Have been digitalized with different apps that I will present you in this high-level architecture, and then Kyriakos will present you in a demo session more details. In order to support this mobility process, we have undertook some years ago, as Alison said before, about 2021, that we should have a unified access. We should offer single sign-on to our students and professors using their institutional account by My Academic ID or Edugain, and also to implement the common campus management system. As we have said before, this is VURS, Virtual University Registrar System, and the creation of interfaces to exchange course data with local campus management systems. In some cases, we are also exchanging grades back to the local systems. And also to implement the decentralized learning management system that we call this VCLP, Virtual Campus Learning Platform, and our colleague from KAT from Germany, Philipp Hoyer, will present this in detail afterwards. So as in every university, we would like to have institutional account, a campus management system, and also an LMS. Here, this centralized campus management system through the VURS API is connected with the local campus management systems or student information systems in order for now to retrieve course data. And also the VCLP is interconnected with local learning management systems. Kyriakos and Philip will send you more details about that later. The main, as also Yanis and Nick said before, we are trying to support some European standards like My Academic ID and Edugain, but also in the VURS API, we are supporting other specifications. And I would like to say that the VURS is based on the open source university system that Yanis presented before. That is the campus management system that we are using here in Aristotle University of Thessaloniki. And based on that, we have implemented the VURS layers. Also, the VCLP is based on the Ilias learning management system. So in this EPICUR's architecture, this is another viewpoint. You can see the local CMSs that we are trying to connect, and also the local learning management systems with VCLP and VURS. Also, we're creating eventually more portals, more front ends for different use cases. For example, the internship portal in order to support internship exchange or research opportunities. We're implementing now a new portal, or the staff mobility portal. These are under development for the next years. And also we are developing the lifelong learning portal for supporting lifelong learning exchanges. Concerning the VURS components, Kyriakos will say more about that. We have the course catalog, the common course catalog of our courses. And this is not just course catalog, but it's a learning opportunities catalog. And it's based on the European Learning Model standard specification. Also, we have the app for the students in order to apply for some courses. their app in order to see their grades, to request transfer of records, certifications, etc. We have a really big app for the registrars to monitor applications, but also for the faculty app to offer courses, to propose courses, but also to grade the students and communicate with them, and the administrative panel and API server in order to support the interoperability with other systems. And concerning the interoperability of VURS, the VURS now is supporting an interface with Campus API in order to satisfy the German and the Austrian partners that we have in our consortium. Also interface with ECS server in order to be interconnected with the VCLP. Interface with one roster in order to have bi-directional interconnection with the local campus management systems or learning management systems, and also interface with AMETIS in order to satisfy the interoperability with French partners that we have in our alliance. So in order to see how this is, the main steps, as I have told you before, we are creating the mobilities, the learning opportunities. We are relating them with some courses. We are putting all of them in the campus management system in VURS, and how the professors can offer courses, or we can absorb them from the local LMS. Then the registrars can start monitoring the mobilities. We are publishing the course catalog, the learning opportunities, in order for the students to be ready to apply for them. And we're synchronizing the VURS courses with the virtual campus. Then the students are applying for the courses. They're using their institutional account for that. And also we're trying to interconnect the VCLP with the local learning management systems in order to start delivering the learning material, learning activities, and also have the virtual conferences if any. So the students, after their registration as students, they can, using their app, they can track their records, and the professors can grade them. So more or less, this is the mobility process. These are the main modules for in our architecture, and the main interoperability, let's say, interfaces. But Kyriakos will say you more about that. We'll explain you, we'll give you a demo for the main roles and the main use cases. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Tsiatsos. We proceed with the presentation of Kyriakos Varvounakis. And Kyriakos.
Yeah. Hello. You can see my screen.
Excuse me, Kyriakos. The Deputy Minister of Education, Professor Papaioannou, just joined us, so we will give the floor to the Deputy Minister.
I'm stopping, sir. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Welcome.
Can you hear me?
Yes, perfectly.
Penny, I don't hear you.
We hear you perfectly. We hear you.
I can't hear you.
Σας ακούμε κανονικά.
Ωραία, δεν πειράζει, μην ακούω εγώ. Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. First of all, I would like to express for my delay. I'm sorry for my delay, but due to the weather conditions in Athens, we had 1.5 hour delay. So, in any case, it's a great pleasure and honor to join you at today's online event organized by the EPICUR Alliance, a vivid example of how European universities can collaborate across borders to foster innovation, intercultural learning, and a shared commitment to academic excellence. I would like to extend my warmest congratulations to the Aristotle University of Thessaloniki, to my colleagues from the Aristotle University of Thessaloniki for hosting this event, as well as to all 9 universities participating in the EPICUR consortium for their sustained commitment to advancing digitalization, cooperation, and the strengthening of the European higher education area. Today's focus on the EPICUR Virtual University Register System is more than a technical showcase. It is a tangible manifestation of a shared European vision to create a learning space where students navigate freely, where academic pathways transcend geography, and where institutions collaborate out of a shared commitment to improving the quality, the efficiency, and the transparency of learning systems. The work achieved within EPICUR demonstrates that digitalization is not merely a tool for efficiency. It is a catalyst for a new culture of cooperation, intercultural exchange, and collaborative interdisciplinary learning. Digitalization in higher education is no longer a distant objective or an aspirational ideal. It is a necessity once accelerated by global challenges, societal expectations, and the evolving needs of our students. The Ministry of Education in Greece actively supports initiatives that strengthen digital infrastructures, simplify mobility pathways, and foster cooperation across institutions. EPICUR's initiatives, including the development of interoperable digital platforms, exemplify how universities can empower students and staff to engage across disciplines, languages, and cultures. Within this context, VURS aligns perfectly with our national's priorities, enhancing transparency, increasing student engagement, and ensuring that Greek universities remain at the forefront of European academic developments. By facilitating seamless students' mobility and collaborative learning, VURS also lays the foundation for the skills, experience, and confidence that underpin a more agile and interconnected European professional landscape. As we move forward, I encourage all participants to think boldly about scalability and transferability. How can the EPICUR model be adapted to other alliances or institutions? How can such digital ecosystems contribute to the broader goal of a truly European higher education area, one that is inclusive, flexible, multilingual, and globally competitive? We view the EPICUR Alliance not only as a collection of 9 universities, but as a frontrunner for a new generation of European universities where shared infrastructure, governance, mobility, and collaboration are the norm. Greece, and especially our universities, are ready to contribute actively to this vision. I wish you a fruitful and stimulating discussion during today's event that I look forward to witnessing the further advancement and positive impact of EPICUR work in the years ahead. Again, sorry for my delay, and thank you very much.
We warmly thank the Deputy Minister of Education, Religious Affairs and Sports responsible for higher education. And we thank you for your support and for the participation in today's event. Thank you very much. I think that now we can proceed with the presentation of Mr. Barbounakis.
My name is Kyriakos Barbounakis, technical architect of the University project, the platform where the EPICUR VURS is being developed, and of course, member of the work package 3 of EPICUR, the digitalization work package of EPICUR. Thank you very much for being here today. Our presentation had two different parts. The first part was a presentation for identifying the subsystems of EPICUR VURS, but I had delayed, so let's go directly to the second part, which is a demo of how common use cases digitalizing an environment like EPICUR. So yes, it was really hard to understand at the beginning that the inter-university campus can be digitalized and has all these features that the student information system and local student information system might have, but this was the first option after analyzing the EPICUR environment and an alliance environment. It was very easy to understand that the difference between a local institution and an inter-university alliance are not so hard to be digital at the end. So let's go to our main use cases, and give me a moment to start from the very first case where we are going to digitalize, we are going to present our course catalog. We have three basic steps here. A way to configure the student abilities and learning pathways, configure the course instances for a specific academic year and period, and finally publish the course catalog. So let's go to the registrar app of EPICUR VURS and present how this configuration can be completed directly to the system. We are navigating to the registrar app of EPICUR VURS. Of course, we are using the authorization server of EPICUR. And there, as you can see in my screen, we have a course registry where the virtual registrar office members are able to manage the available courses, define attributes, define all the different attributes that an entity like a course create, scale, and finally create a program of study, a learning pathway, include courses inside that, and define the attributes which should have inside the program of study of an European alliance. At the end, we should have a way of creating, of activating classes and courses for a specific academic year and period. So the registrar app of EPICUR has this option, and finally we can publish our program of study to the EPICUR course catalog. Let's go. The next step. Here is the EPICUR course catalog where every public studies program is available for everyone to see. Let's go to one of them and check the filter options that we have in order to finally search for a course, try to find out if we have an option to apply for a course, and filter with advanced option, read about the courses in EPICUR, and add a course to a wish list in order to finally have an option to apply for this mobility. We are navigating again. Let's go to the next step about the student admission. We have to configure the application range, which is, of course, as we understand, is a part of the virtual register of VURS, to apply for a mobility and finally review the application and accept the prospective students to be a part of our alliance. We are navigating to the EPICUR Registrar app. A student is trying to access this application using the authorization server of EPICUR and its own account in the local institution and apply for an EPICUR mobility. After selecting an available mobility, of course, they have an option to select one or more courses and finally go to the next step in order to upload all the required documents for this application. We go back, we're going back to the registrar office on EPICUR, the registrar, and we will try to see the review progress of our application. We are logging again as a registrar office member. And as you can see here, we have a list of our candidates. So, of course, we have an option to accept or reject one or more courses, see all the attachments, and finally accept the application. After this action, our prospective student will be a student of EPICUR, and of course, will now have a student record inside EPICUR VURS, where all the data is available, and of course, the registered courses in this program. After accepting an application, the EPICUR student is starting their journey in the EPICUR ecosystem. The first, maybe the first step is to get the learning agreement using the EPICUR Students app. Let's go to the EPICUR Students app and try to see how a new student of EPICUR is able to apply for an agreement. After the login, we are navigating to the Students app of EPICUR, and of course, we are ready to apply and get an learning agreement after submitting an application to the virtual registrar office of EPICUR VURS. The registrar office members are able, of course, to accept the application and finally publish the learning agreement document, which is which will be available to the student in order to get it using the EPICUR student app. We are getting the action and finally generating the document which contains all the information about our new student. This was the first step of the journey of a new EPICUR student inside EPICUR VURS. After that, after synchronizing the data with LMS, using different specifications like One Roster, like Campus Connect, using the VCOP platform, the student is able to access the local learning management system. And here, as you can see, we are in an example, a mimic of University of Strasbourg LMS, where our student now is able to log in, is able to log in and see the registered courses. The student uses the EPICUR VURS authorization server again. The Moodle instance is integrated use of two authentication. And finally, our new student is able to see her registration, their registration on EPICUR VURS. Before the end, we should have an option to assign grades a few courses and apply for the transcript of record. So the first part of this case should be completed by the teaching staff of EPICUR, and the second part should be available to the end user, the student, in order to finally have an option to get documents like that. So let's go to the EPICUR faculty app and see how a teaching staff member is able to upload a grades assigned for EPICUR students. So we are logged in as a teacher, and we're using the faculty app in order to finally select a course, get the grade table, download it in an Excel file, fill it with the grades, and submit it again to the system using the Excel file we got. And finally, the submission has been completed, and we are ready to go to accept this submission and allow the end users, the student, to apply for a transcript of record. So our new student now is logged in and using the requests part of students app, and finally applies for a transcript of record. Of course, they are able to see their grades and request for a transcript. Let's go again to the register app. A registered office member now can accept the transcript and publish it in order to allow the student to download it using the EPICUR Students app. As you can see here, we have a lot of information for the student, the grades, and this document can be transmitted to the local office of registrar in order to start a course recognition process, an offline course recognition process. And here is the last mile of our implementation of our digitalization. We are, and in this step, in this case, we should have an option to recognize the grades assigned to students and include these results into the local system. So we have to communicate with the local systems in a way, and finally, to the local campus management system, and finally, have a way to import the student results to the local student records. For this demonstration, we are using the local student information system of Aristotle University of Thessaloniki, and we are trying to use its feature for getting the grades from EPICUR VURS and include these results into the local student record. So the next screens, the next video contains user interfaces in Greek language. We are talking about the student information system of Aristotle University of Thessaloniki. Let's go and see. The student, again, applies for a course recognition process. So they are selecting an application form for getting the data from EPICUR VURS. As you can see here, the student submits the application and gets the courses from EPICUR VURS in order to finally have an application in the local CMS. The local registrar office members now have the option to see this application, accept it, and finally include courses and grades assigned in EPICUR inside the local student information system. As you can see here, an EPICUR course now is included into the local student record, and the student and this record now can be printed in diploma supplement, can be recognized, can be included in degree requirements, and finally allow the end user, the student, to have these grades in their local student record. This was a very quick journey on what EPICUR VURS does during digitalizing an alliance, a European university like an EPICUR. Thank you very much. We are ready to hear your questions about our platform, about our digitalization in EPICUR. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Barbounakis, for the very interesting presentation. Our next speaker is Mr. Philip Hoyer from the Scientific Computing Center of the Karlsruhe Institute of Technology. So I pass the microphone to Mr. Hoyer.
Yeah, thank you very much, and welcome also from my side. My name is Philip Hoyer. As Penny just said, I'm from KIT, working at the Scientific Computing Center as head of Department for Campus and Cloud Applications. And today I would like to present the EPICUR Virtual Campus Learning Platform and give you a short introduction in the next 10 minutes or so, and to see what the VCLP, as we call it, is all about. Well, basically, the Virtual Campus Learning Platform is a learning management system. It's part of the EPICUR Inter-University Campus with VURS, as we said, as we saw before from Trust slides, the two parts, the VURS and the VCLP. The VCLP is actually based on the open source learning and management system ELIAS, which we also use here at KIT for our main learning management system. Also, the University of Freiburg, which is part of EPICUR, also uses ELIAS. So since we are very familiar with ELIAS, we have chosen that our basis for our central learning management platform for EPICUR. And it's hosted at KIT on our local IT infrastructure, so there's no cloud provider or anything included. And it's available as learn.epicur.education. And
Peter, excuse me.
Yes?
Excuse me for the intervention. We don't see your presentation.
Oh, I'm very sorry. I try it again. I'm actually in Munich now in a small hotel room with bad Wi-Fi connection, so I hope
Now it's okay.
Okay, great. Yeah, that was the first slide here. I just talked about that it's based on ELIAS and that we host the virtual campus learning platform on our local IT infrastructure. And as I see it, it's like the gateway to access all the EPICUR courses on the local learning management systems, running at the universities of EPICUR, like Moodle or ELIAS or other learning management systems. And today I would point out three things that I think are quite special for the VCLP. The first thing, we have already seen it also with the VURS, is a very simple login where you can use your home institutional account and do not have to register or apply. So you do not need a password, but you can simply access the VCLP by using your home institution account. And it looks like that. You access Learn EPICUR Education, select your home institution, and then you are forwarded to your local identity provider. This is what it looks like at KIT, but if you click on the University of Strasbourg icon, then it looks like that. Or for the Aristotle University of Thessaloniki, you get your local login page. So we do not store any passwords or something like that. We totally rely on the single sign-on mechanism of Edugain. The second thing I would like to point out is that we connected the VCLP to the local learning management system running at each university. Currently, we have 6 universities connected, 3 are still missing. And so teachers or professors can choose whether either they host their course on the VCLP directly, because it's a full learning management system. But usually that's not the case. So the courses are actually hosted on the local learning management systems and then are shared with the VCLP. Course administrators can do this by themselves, so it does not need to have any administrative access or something like that from the administrators. And those courses that are shared are then automatically appear on the VCLP in a special category we call My EPICUR courses. And EPICUR students can then access those courses on the local learning management systems via the VCLP. So they log into the VCLP, go to the My EPICUR courses category and choose their course they have applied for, and then are forwarded to the local learning management systems and are instantly logged in, so they do not have to register there or something like that. They can simply join the courses on the local learning management systems running at each university. There are a lot of technically there are a lot of messages exchanged between the VCLP and the local learning management systems, and this is done by the so-called e-learning community server, or ECS, which are a central platform also hosted here at KIT, where each university is connected, where each learning management systems of the universities are connected to. Yes, how does this look like if you want to share a course with the VCLP? Well, basically here on the left side, we see our ELIAS installation at KIT. And as a course admin here, I can simply go to the settings of the course. And there's a special setting I can activate, and this is called Release this course. Release is maybe not the word, but the best word, but it's translated like that. And here I can say release it for the EPICUR Virtual Campus Learning Platform. In Moodle, it's a bit different, but quite similar. You can add a block there to export the course and also have the option to share it with the EPICUR VCLP. And what then happens after a minute or so is that the course actually appears here on the right side on the VCLP in the My Courses category. And you see here different courses shared by the local learning management systems. You also see here the provider. So that's the university who's actually offer the courses and where the courses are hosted, like here University of Freiburg or University of Strasbourg. And then you can access the courses here. Not yet, but there's a third thing I would like to point out, and this is the synchronization with VURS. So as Kyriakos just told us, there are the courses and the course memberships that are actually managed in VURS, and they are synchronized between VURS and VCLP. As a prerequisite, you need to link the courses on the VURS system with the course on the VCLP, but you only have to do this once. And after that, all students that are enrolled in this course and approved on the VURS are automatically synchronized with the course membership into the VCLP. The main benefit of that is that students who log into the VCLP and access the My Courses category can only see those courses that they have been registered and approved for. So they do not see every course, because this is a huge list at the moment. But they only see those courses that are transferred from VURS, where the membership are transferred from VURS. Yes, and I would like to look a bit into more detail into the system architecture here. We have the VCLP. It's a graphic you see, you have saw a minute ago from Thras, very similar, but it's the other way around here. So the VCLP is on the left side, and we have the VURS systems on the right side, and courses and students, as I just told you, are synchronized between those two systems. We have the single sign-on mechanism where you can use your home institutional account for both systems. So you do not have to register with a separate account or that. You can use the single sign-on. And as a middleware, as a gateway, we have the e-learning community server, the ECS server, which runs at KIT. And all local, or 6 at the 9 universities, are currently connected to this ECS server, which are mainly using Ilias or Moodle. For Moodle, it's a requirement to install a plugin. We have or using and to make the connection to the ECS. The other systems we are still looking into, like LTI or other technologies, to connect them also to the VCLP. Okay, and then I would like to give you some impressions, just some screenshots here. This is actually the starting page. Looks quite nice. I would especially like to point out a big thank you to Dorte Hutzniehoff from University of Freiburg, who did a lot of work here. We have, if you scroll a bit down here on the page, we have here on the left side the login possibility, the access to your EPICUR courses, which actually gets you to this My EPICUR courses category, student information and FAQs. And we have 3 big areas here directly hosted on the VCLP to enable also collaborative work on the platform, which are the EPICUR Hub, where we host different hubs. The first one that is already available is the Sustainable Transformation Hub, but more hubs will follow in the future. We have the EPICUR Teaching and Learning Center, which allows teachers and educational developers across the alliance to work together and share competences and knowledges. And we have the open educational resources part, where if you would like to have OER resources, you can actually share it here and submit those resources in the VCLP. All right, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Philip Hoyer. And we proceed to the last presentation from Professor Thrasyvoulos Tsiatsos. Thras.
Yes, of course. Just a minute to share my screen. So this presentation is in order to discuss with you, to show you how we would like to exploit this or to create synergies on top of these achievements with you, with other alliances. And because from the very early start of this project, we have the EPICUR consortium has created a vision. Part of this vision was to empower the digital transformation. This means that we would like to transform European university cooperation by developing the digital tools, skills, and processes which are necessary to enable successful and efficient collaboration. And also the EPICUR admission now, because we have these achievements, is to support the creation of long-term sustainability, robust, independent, public European digital teaching and learning platforms that empower the universities and academic networks to collaborate at scale. And we would like to be in line with the new also calls for the continuation of the alliances. As a consortium, as EPICUR, we are participating in many activities to support synergies on digitalization. This is the best one is the European Digital Education Hub and mainly the Higher Education Interoperability Working Group. We have colleagues here, many of them that you can see here in the photo are with us. I can see Colin Tack, I can see Clement Loret, and many more that are participating together in our meeting, in our event. Here also you can see a very good output of the Interoperability Working Group, the inventory of standards, processes, and ICT systems. You can download this file, this really important deliverable. But you can find also some information about VURS, the university, and VCLP there, and how the EPICUR digitalization solutions are supporting the use cases developed by the European Interoperability Framework. Also, EPICUR is cooperating very close with One Tech. This is the worldwide digitalization standardization organization. And as you know, VURS is supporting one roster and soon EDU API standards. And also I would like to inform you that next September we're organizing here in Thessaloniki the next Learning Impact Europe conference in September from 15th to 17th. Another activity is the cooperation with the AUTH, and mainly on my academic ID issues. Because we would like to support this. We are supporting my academic ID because we believe that this is the main solution in order also to support the European Student Card Initiative. And of course, we are participating in the 4EU for All groups. We are co-chairs, the EPICUR representatives are co-chairs in the digitalization group. And also we're supporting in the 4EU IT group and we're co-chairs there as well. So we would like to somehow exchange our ideas, use cases and achievements and outputs with the other colleagues. So in order to somehow formalize this cooperation, EPICUR consortium has decided to create an exploitation, let's say, strategy. And we have created a partnership agreement and a memorandum of understanding template that are describing more or less every detail of cooperation between two alliances. This has been created for the inter-alliance cooperation and synergies, and also from the legal point of view. So we have created this template, and for supporting giving services to other alliances or other organizations, European networks, we have created also templates for the service level agreements. For example, the EPICUR Alliance has decided It is also in cooperation with other two alliances in order to offer the VURS platform as a service. Also, at this service level agreement, we have created a template that we are discussing with other alliances, with partner alliances, about the services that provided the key users, financial, payment terms, performance, monitoring, etc. Everything is described in these service level agreements, and collaboration workflow is to, first of all, for an alliance that would like to cooperate with EPICUR, there is an initiation request, and you should send an email to our EPICUR Alliance Manager, to Alison, that has opened this event. And then we can have a preliminary coordination meeting in order, this is not an obligatory step, but is optional but recommended step, in order to have an informal discussion between the EPICUR exploitation team, the service providers, and the requesting organization, in order to clarify your needs, scope, timeline, etc., and also your technical readiness and vision about the digitalization in your alliance. And then the third step is to exchange the draft documents about the MOU and the SLA, as I have presented before, in order for the parties to exchange comments and refine documents in a collaborative way. And then the fourth step is to have the signature of the agreements. And the fifth step is to implement the service, to deliver the service, to deploy the services. And then optional step could be the evaluation and the follow-up. And this is something that we would like to do in the continuation of our alliance, to create a team in order to co-create with other alliances that we are cooperating with a long-term work plan, a long-term roadmap of how we can cooperate with, on top of the digitalization matters. So these are the main the details about the collaboration workflow, that but you can receive these slides, and I think that we should not go into detail more. And the last thing is that we have decided a sensitive deliverable that we have created, the digital infrastructure of EPICUR. We have created a public version of that. It's more than 130 pages, that we are describing everything in detail, all the functionalities, the high-level architecture, the interoperability, use cases, etc. And we are offering them as a public version. You can follow a specific link in order to request. This is public on demand, to request this file and to download it, in order to be aware what we have done. Here is the table of contents. Okay, I will skip these slides, but it's a really detailed this file. So I would like to thank you once again for your participation here in this meeting, because we had the opportunity to present our work in detail. Thanks. And maybe, Penny, we can continue with Mentimeter, the second one.
Yes,
Okay.
a very short session with conclusions through Mentimeter. So please, Thras, share your screen once more.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, there is a new code for this Menti, is this, and we can start now. I think that you can see the code. Okay, I can see that.
Yes. So we invite you to join menti.com using the new code to answer a few questions about the conclusions.
Mm-hmm.
Can you put a code in the chat again, please?
Yes, the code is on top of the.
I know, but I have a.
I added direct link. You can use it.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Or maybe a direct link for people with mobiles only.
It's in the chat, I think. Yeah. Okay, let's go to the next slide. It's about which is the EPICUR digital output that you would like to explore further. Okay, it seems that most of the colleagues would like to have a follow-up and VURS and VCLP, of course. I would like to comment that I can see only 70 participants in the Mentimeter, but now in the audience we have more than 150. So if someone would like to participate, you can just join in medi.com and the code. Okay. Okay, about the follow-up discussion or collaboration with us. Okay, I think that we will be more than happy to collaborate with you to have a follow-up. So you can send to our to Alison an email in order to forward your request. Either this could be the exploitation of a service or an informal meeting in order to present you more details about the tools that we have presented. And yeah, what type of support you need? Okay, it seems that the most important for you is the technical documentation. For this reason, I have told you that we are sharing the public version of it's more or less the technical documentation of our platform, and this will be open for you. Concerning the access to pilots or sandboxes, we will discuss this internally. Concerning universities, there is a sandbox on GitHub, but also we will discuss with the team of how we can provide access to pilots or sandboxes. And I think that with the dissemination team of EPICUR, we should organize more demonstrations and this type of events. And for sure, we are open for bilateral meetings. We have organized dozens of this type of bilateral meetings, and it will be also our pleasure to do that and exchange ideas. Yeah. As I have told you, there are many cross-alliances working groups like for EU for All or for EU IT, or the European Interoperability Group. And okay, so, and also we would like to create this type of working groups in EPICUR in order to work together with partner alliances. Okay, I think that it's time for the session about the questions and answers. Penny will coordinate this.
Yes, so please, if you want to address a question, you can raise your hand or write to the chat. And I will also put to the chat our email address in case that you have a question that will not be answered during this session. You can send us via email.
Yeah, and also I would like to add that in the platform page, web page that I have presented before, there is a web form in order for you to send any question about the digitalization in EPICUR, etc.
Yes, Mr. Neil Harlos.
It's Miss, thank you.
Mrs., excuse me.
Miss is fine. It's fine. Thank you so much. I am sitting here salivating, which I usually only do for chocolate, but I see all these nice things that EOPs, I'm the digitization officer of EOPs, we are still trying to implement. And it's just like, wow, this is such a high standard that you guys are setting there. So congratulations to that outstanding work. I have so many questions, but I'll stick to one that is on the forefront of my mind right now, which is, of course, we can implement a lot of nice things if we had the time, right? It's personnel resources, it's temporal resources that we are actually struggling with very much. I'm now trying to gather a kind of a broad estimate of a number of hours that we have been so far spending with regard to digitization for EUPs. And I would just like to know, do you have an estimate of that number? Like, can you give me just rough numbers? How many people have been working on this? For how long? What was your budget? This kind of thing. Thank you.
Penny, may I answer to this question? I would like to avoid discussing about the budget, but first of all, thanks for the kind words. We would like to say that in EPICUR, the digitalization is the first one priority. As Alison said before, because EPICUR is a first generation alliance, we had a pilot phase that were somehow skeptical about how to do with the digitalization. It was so early. We were not ready, not only EPICUR, but every alliance. What is this? What is an alliance? And so the digitalization of any procedure, processes, the business logic is really vague at that time, was really vague at that time. But we have decided to invest somehow, not much at that time. But then in the second phase that we're running now, the decision that we would like to thank the Alison, Unistra, the coordination, and the other partners, the rest of partners, that they have decided to highlight the work in the digitalization and give a lot of budget to this. We are three teams. One, the biggest team is in Thessaloniki, in our university, that is implementing the VURS, and also have all the creation of the portals, etc., that we are presenting before, but also the team in KAT, the team of Philip, that they are supporting the VCLP, and the team in Freiburg with Dorothy. I cannot see Dorothy still, but Dorothy and her team is in Freiburg, the University of Freiburg. These three teams are supporting the digitalization of that. In Aristotle University and in work package 3, which is the work package that about this the digitalization, we have more than 20 representatives, but biggest teams inside. In Aristotle University, we have more than 10 persons that are working. Some of them full-time, like Kyriakos or Iakovos that is here, but some of them are part-time to support different functionalities, technical work, etc. It's a concern. I will tell you about the percentage. Digitalization takes about more than 15% of 20% of the budget. Kyriako, we cannot hear you very well.
Audio.
Yeah.
Now, yes.
Can you hear me? Yeah. Yes, of course. EPICUR VURS is being developed under a university platform. So we are getting any update given by the university project. So we are having all the modules, the features, an open source project offers to the public. So, you know, we have our production line for creating an inter-university campus, but behind it, we have a powerful open source project, which is focuses in different architectures, in different environments, and gives us a lot of new features in our environment. So keep in mind that an open source project drives us to something newer again and again. We have two important questions in the chat. I don't know if you, Colin, can you?
Sorry?
Yeah.
Thanks. Sorry, I didn't hear well. No, first of all, congratulations as well. I think it's really impressive work, and for me, it's I mean, of course, very impressive to see the nice product, but even more impressive, I think, to see that you use so many, I mean, basically all the relevant interoperable standards for the different components, and that everything is open source. I think that makes it super impressive even. I had two quick questions, if I may. One is when you, for the transcripts of records and diploma supplements, are you also considering to issue them as EDC credentials, as European Digital Credentials for Learning? That would be one question. And the second question would be, in KSC, we also work on a project called Quality Link, which is about actually aggregating data on course catalogs and from different universities and alliances, let's say Europe-wide scale, where we try to test universal aggregation of course data that's available in either ELM format or through an Edu API or through an OO API. Since you have all this in place in VURS, I was actually wondering whether you would be interested in piloting or testing this in relation to Quality Link as well, whether this could be made available for aggregation in a larger data set. Thanks.
Again, an important feature provided by Universe Project, the Universe CLM browser. ELM is fully supported now in EPICUR VURS, so every educational subject of EPICUR VURS can be converted to a European learning model, learning opportunity. And of course, every teaching event of EPICUR VURS can be converted to a European learning model learning activity. So yes, we do have this feature available in order to finally gives you a way to get the final achievement of a student as an EDC in EDC format. So yes, we can do it, and of course we can use it in order that okay, we believe that European learning model is one of our powerful tools for improving interoperability across European alliances. So yes, this is very important for us, and of course, it's very important to create something like an aggregator. You mentioned about giving course catalogs across different ecosystems. Yes, we can share it and continue use it in our. Thank you very much, Colin.
Okay, thank you very much for this excellent presentation. I really enjoyed it, and I would like to say that I'm a member of the Technical University of Crete, and our university is a partner of the Eureka Pro European University, as you can see actually in my background. We have been in touch with people from EPICUR since last summer, and I think we have a very good ongoing discussion so far about adopting VURS for our needs. And we're currently at step number 4, if I remember correctly, from Thrasyvoulos' presentation. Within our alliance, we're discussing and reviewing the 2 documents that we need to sign. And actually, this is a step that takes much longer than I expected because there are several questions raised. But I hope that eventually, we will find a middle ground and we will be able to proceed. The question that I have, and it's actually a question to the entire audience here, I'm sure that there are many people representing European University Alliances, and in the interest of time, so that we don't waste other people's time, if you are in discussion with EPICUR about adopting VURS, it will be nice to state that maybe in the chat and say, write the acronym of your alliance and let us know if you're thinking of or you're in the process of collaborating with EPICUR, so that we get a sense of how many alliances are working towards this goal and what kind of community is being formed along with the process. But one last thing that I forgot to mention is that at our university, we have been using UniVerSys, which is the predecessor or the base system behind VURS, for several years now, since the very beginning. And we have a lot of experience with UniVerSys, and that's why we put a lot of trust, let's say, and confidence on adopting VURS, and we believe that it will be equally productive and useful within our alliance for our needs. No need to reinvent the wheel if we can collaborate and somehow make good use of the available tools. Thank you very much for this presentation. We're looking forward to receiving the material, presentations, video, and all that. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Michael.
Thank you very much, Michael. Before continuing, we have 2 important questions in the chat. Give me a moment to answer. The first one is from Sandra. I think about the usage of the implementation of my academic idea inside the EPICUR environment. Yes, it's very important to understand the difference between the SAML traditional mode of authenticating a user and the OpenID Connect mode of authenticating something. My academic ID is an OpenID Connect provider. So in our environment, in our ecosystem, we are using OpenID in order to allow the end user to be authorized and access our resources. This is the first important option that we have for using my academic ID. A compatible, fully and powerful compatible OpenID Connect provider that uses the network of EduGain and provides us with the users of EduGain, authenticated users of EduGain. The other part is the identification and the last step that we have in order to finally recognize a course. We are using the ESI, the European Student Identifier, to identify the student that we have in the EPICUR VURS environment and the student that which exists in the local CMS system. So the European Student Identifier is a strong identifier for finding and identifying a student between these 2 systems. And I think this is something that we can discuss in the future, and we will discuss in the future again and again on how can we identify someone inside our networks. And the other question is about the standalone version of VURS. I'm not really understand the meaning of the standalone here is from Piotr, but yes, the VURS does not have really connection between with the local campus management system, but acts also as a producer or consumer in a communication, in a bi-directional communication with any local campus management system. The EPICUR VURS is a standalone student information, inter-university student information, first of all. And then, of course, has all the services, all the interfaces for interconnecting with a local scenes. I'm not really sure that I answered the question of Piotr, but
thank you. That's what I was expecting.
Yeah.
We have one more question from Mr. Youssef Araki Hussain.
Thanks a lot. Similarly, I would like to congratulate you for this great presentation, and to the whole team, big up for this awesome job. I have a question concerning the criteria that you will be looking at for selecting the alliances that will be eligible for using the VURS platform or the VCLP. I was wondering what factors will guide your selection. Thank you.
Maybe Alison can say a few words about that, the selection of the other alliances, and then I can say something more.
Yes, thank you. So at the moment, we are working with different alliances from perhaps different generations and different formats to see forward. The idea is to create a community of different profiles of universities, because that way we can develop things perhaps better, develop new use cases going forward. As I said, people have said before, we've only in discussion with 2 alliances at the moment, EPICUR Pro and Ingenieur. Sorry, I forgot the name of the alliance. We will, unless we find more resources, we will be probably limited, and I think Thras can say that as well, in capacity, in that managing a lot of things will require more resources. So I think on alliance level, we've decided we will select 3 to 4, maybe 5 alliances in a first step to move forward, and then we will see if we have more resources going forward. But I'll let Thras complete.
Exactly. This is the decision of the management board, and every decision in EPICUR is taken by the management board. But from the technical point of view, the technical criteria is we have a discussion in step 2, which is not optional. We have this Youssef, and with Youssef we had a discussion anyway, sometimes about that. The discussion is about the technical readiness of the consortium or the leader of this deliverable and the partner alliance. Because if the technical readiness of the alliance is not very mature, then it could be really difficult to deliver this service level agreement. So we would like to support alliances that has the technical readiness to work with the technologies that we are creating, of course, but also the business logic that EPICUR, the use cases and the mobility process that we have presented before. If this is totally different, then that means that we should have a fully customized solution, that the capacity that is needed from the EPICUR side is really high. So this is a matter of capacity. We are not, very picky about the selection of the alliances. If we can support every alliance, this could be done. But we should find more technicians, more engineers in order to support the rest of the alliances. Um, and also the familiarization, as Michael said before, that they are 100% familiar about universities and of course about what is VURS. So the familiarization of the colleagues is really important for us. They need less training, and the capacity that is needed is less than expected in another alliance. But anyway, we think that we will try more, as I also said, in this phase of 4 to 5. But for the future, we will see. Till the end of this project, till next October, it's up to 5. Piotr?
Great, very clear. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for letting me ask these questions. First one on my list, you actually already answered. I have a question regarding the API server. What is the scope of synchronization or integration that you can achieve with it? That's the first part of the question, and I'm referring to, you already mentioned that you can synchronize courses. But what about users, marks, and other things like participants in courses and the users itself? Can you do it? Can you actually achieve full synchronization and integration with local student management system using this API, or does this integration requires additional components? That's the first part of this question.
First of all, University API server is a powerful polymorphic multifunctional API server. So it's able to provide, after applying a specific, very important security context, is able to act as a producer of its data. So it has a hundreds of services for providing data about courses, users, students. Any entity is available for getting it using the this is the one option. The other option is to use a specification. If we are talking about one roster specification from First Tech, then we are able to get to provide data like courses, course instances for academic year and periods, users, enrollments, teachers, and finally grades, results, as they are mentioned in. If we are talking about ELM, European Learning Model, we have a different approach. There is a different approach. We are providing learning opportunities, learning achievements, learning assessments, and learning activities. First of all, we have to decide which specification we need to decide in an environment, in a polymorphic environment, which specification we want to use in order to finally complete this process of synchronizing different environments. We have a lot of options. And indeed, the first option is the usage of a powerful API server provided by, but we can use any of the other specifications that are like one roster, a Edu API, and European Learning. The result is to communicate service to service, service to client, client to service, whatever.
If I may say something more, Piotr, about that. In EPICUR, the VURS API server can synchronize, as Kyriakos said, almost everything to consume and produce. The thing is that due to GDPR, one problem, and second problem, DPOs, huge problem. Third issue is the technical readiness of the local teams and all the interoperability of the local systems. This is another issue. And the fourth issue is the mandate that the local teams are receiving from the rectors, etc. For this reason, even if the technical solution will be here, in EPICUR we have decided to go step by step. And first of all, to transfer course data only in the first step, that are data that are public, more or less. So we are taking this type of data. And then, if needed, to recognize courses automatically, of course, to transfer grades back. So, and Kyriakos has presented before this use case that we have implemented here in our university from VURS to the local campus management system to transfer data after a request of a student. And these data, these grades are synchronized only for this specific student for this specific courses. So there is no point to synchronize everything. So, the EPICUR decision was to be to transfer, to exchange data only if needed and be friendly to GDPR. So we are creating the common course catalog by absorbing data, okay, but for transferring grades, we are not synchronizing all the courses with all students, but there is no need for that. And also I would like to answer to a similar question here from Tiziana De Mateis, that she is saying something about the automatic recognition, credits activities, and regulatory linguistic differences. So I would like to say something that we haven't highlighted at all today, that EPICUR VURS is supporting all the grading systems of the alliance partners. And we are translating the Greek grades, for example, from the Greek grading system to the German grading system automatically. So this is in the system implemented now. And concerning the linguistic differences, there is no problem about that, because in the central system, we have the central, the grades and the names of the students. But if someone would like to transfer grades back, as Kyriakos said before, we have the Greek screenshots here, because then this is a task from the local team to absorb data from the central. We are, let's say, agnostic in EPICUR about what is going on for the local regulations, for the local. What is the standard? The diploma supplement standard. What is another standard? The ELM standard. So that's it. We are standardized. So the local teams should be standardized as well. This is the decision. It's really simple, but not simplified.
Thank you. Yeah. Piotr. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. That was even more than I expected asking the question. So thank you very much. I have a second part in your presentation and in your answer. You already mentioned that you are able to talk to OpenEdu API, for example. And the reason for I'm going in this direction is that and actually this was mentioned. Part of our systems in our alliance are well, third-party provided. So there is an external company that has to be paid for making additional functionality. It would be not only for us, but probably for most or maybe all of us, much easier if we agreed within Europe on some set of standards for this that we will have to require from our SMS student management system providers. That would be that would lead to a much easier integration possibilities, for example, with VURS. So I'm very happy that you mentioned and answered actually my second part of the question. Can I go with my other questions, or we go to the other people and I will stand in queue?
One quick answer to Jan's question about the ELM. it's a technical question about the learning opportunities and feel them. Jan, I think a course is always a learning opportunity, and a program of study, a learning pathway is also a learning opportunity, which is connected with a learning achievement specification. So courses, classes, and program of studies are learning opportunities, of course, which have a learning achievement specification with the learning outcomes, the award options, and so all these things. This is the model, the European learning model schema. So we are converting our educational resources to learning opportunities or to learning activities, if we should convert it. And finally, we have to define the learning achievements specification for each one of them, or convert them. Okay. I don't know if I answered Julian's question. Thank you very much for this technical question. It's very important to understand the European learning model also. Yeah,
okay, thank you. I understand. I can go with my question. Okay, first, the next one is about mobilities, and actually, it's not my personal question. It was I was asked to ask this. You mentioned mobilities in your presentation. I understand that you are referring to taking participants in courses at another universities. The first question is, do you have any reporting module that can take all this data and produce a report for the EU reporting further? That's first part of this question. The second one is, do you have or do you plan to have ability to import external from the student management system perspective mobilities like events organized between universities and one-to-one meetings, things like this?
May I, Kyriako?
Yeah.
For the second question, I would like to say no, because this is about meetings, etc. The main target of VURS and VCLP is to support the learning activities, etc. But we have some portals that I have presented before. We have the agency portal. This is more or less a different, let's say, type of mobility. And if we have, for example, some lecture series or something, or conferences, and these are learning activities and learning opportunities that could be described by the ELM, yes, we will create this type of portals. So for this reason, we have the research portal in order to present opportunities for the researchers to learn something for training, but not to be a collaborative, let's say, platform, not at all. For the other thing about the reports, of course, Kyriakos maybe can say more about that. We have an analytics module in VURS, and Alison as a coordinator is really happy because in a minute she can receive all the mobilities from one university to another, analytics, pies, diagrams, etc. And also in EPICUR, we are implementing a quality assurance unit. A quality assurance unit meaning and also an observatory. In part of this observatory, observing what is going on in the alliance and concerning the learning and the mobilities and the exchange of the students and the participation of the professors. We know in a minute how many students we have, how many mobilities we have, how many courses offered, different learning pathways, etc. This is in the system. I don't know if Kyriakos can add something.
Yeah. Behind the core of universe of EPICUR VURS API server is a powerful report server with BI features, and of course has all these options to create reports and this server is a Jasper server. and we can use it in order to complete analytic reports, any document which will be available for understanding our mobilities and the usage of them. Yes, these features are very important for ecosystem, and of course is implemented into EPICUR VURS. Yeah.
Thank you. I believe this is described in the documentation that you shown us a couple of minutes before. Okay, great. Another question is about module. I remember from some presentations and the material on your web that you have students app. Do you plan to support in this app European student card? Which is tricky. I do understand that from the Greek perspective, it is tricky because you have student cards provided at the national level, which is not always the case in various countries. But the question really is, can you provide European student card in the virtual app for students?
The answer is that with my academic ID, we are supporting the European Student Card Identifier. So this is the identifier that we are using. And this European Student Card, to our understanding, is used mainly for the physical mobilities and not for the, for have access, to the learning process. So it's just only for the physical mobility. So they can, if a university is supporting the European Student Card, EPICUR system can give to them the European Student Card identifier, not to identify that this student is from an EPICUR mobility, and that's it. This is not in the app yet. Yeah. This is what
it's not a part. This is not a part of EPICUR VURS, but it's already implemented by universities, so we can use it. We can use it inside the EPICUR VURS ecosystem.
Okay,
Yes,
thank you.
European Student Card is ready to be implemented to EPICUR VURS if we want to have it.
Okay. I would say that we have time for just one question because we are 30 minutes late, I would say, and we have lost about 100 participants.
Okay, I'm complete with my question. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Piotr, for very, very good questions. Is there any other question? No.
I will put once more our email in the chat. So anyone who hasn't received an answer for the question can contact us via email. And I think that at this point, we have to close today's event. We thank you all for your participation, your insights, and your engagement. And we hope to continue to have you with us in this journey. Have a nice weekend.
Same to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you very much.